I am so glad that you guys have been enjoying these. But today I am back for my last and final wrap and chat of 2021. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another Vlogmas video. My name is Kira if you are new, and today I am back to share with you my last wrap and chat of the year. So if you guys missed my last two, I did put up two previous wrap and chat videos, and I had a lot of fun filming them, and you guys seemed to really enjoy them. I mean, the videos went super long, yet you guys all seemed to be there for it and tune in for it, and I appreciate that so much. And so today I think I'm going to do things a little bit different, because I did find that editing the past two videos were really difficult for me, because I've learned that I'm not as good of a multitasker as I thought. So when I film a Dollar Tree haul or something like that, and I'm sitting down and I'm just talking to you guys like I am right now, I'm a lot more focused. A lot easier for me to let the words come out fluently. I'm not stuttering as much. There's not as many ums and thought processes involved. But I found that when I started wrapping, and then I was also stopping in thought to share with you the item that I purchased and then wrap it and stuff, I was like, the stories were getting lost and things were getting longer and into tangents because I wasn't able to focus. So like I said, I've learned a lot about myself watching myself edit these last few videos. So to make it a lot more fluid-like, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start off by wrapping my husband's presents. He's off today and he's going to finish the last of his Christmas shopping, and then he's going to pop home and help me a little bit before the kids get home. So he might even be hopping in on this video with me. So I want to get his wrapped first. So instead of sharing with you in between each individual item what I'm doing, I've already pre-recorded me sharing with you each one of these items. So I'm going to cut right now to myself sharing with you what I got for my husband, and then I'm going to meet you right back here, and then I can answer questions while I'm wrapping them. This way I don't have to think about me sharing this. I can just wrap and talk to you guys. So let me share with you what I got Daryl this year for Christmas, and then I'll meet you right back here to wrap them. All right, you guys, so here are my little piles of the things that I have left to wrap. So over here, well, that excludes like Vanessa's family and my mom's family. This is just like for what's here. But I have Daryl's stuff, which is right here. I have Mason's stuff here, Jake's stuff here, Paul's stuff here, and Maya's stuff here. So this is the last of things I've collected since I wrapped with you guys last, or whatever. And I have one more thing coming for Daryl, but I'll talk to you guys about that as we go. So let me share with you his stuff, and then we'll go down the line and I'll just cut it and edit it so you guys don't see each section until I'm wrapping it. So these are the things that I'm giving to hubby, and I will pop up the one thing that you don't see here, and that's a power bank. I just bought it today from Amazon. While I was looking, I felt like he was missing something, and sometimes our phones don't charge. Like, he has a charging case and sometimes it doesn't charge, and so I figured a really good power bank would be good for him to take with him to work and stuff. This way, if he has an issue with his phone, like, you know, he'll have an extra power bank. This I picked up at an Aldi trip like a while back, but Daryl is like the sewer of the family, and so I got him this little tailor's boutique kit that came with like scissors and needles and all that stuff. And then I got him, I know the lighting is awful, I got him this sewing thread kit with like a ton of different colors, so I know that he will like that. Daryl has been enjoying playing Cards Against Humanity. We always play when we're hanging out with Vanessa's family, and I've been slowly like starting a collection for him. And so I got him the everything box. I had to get it because it had everything bagel on it, like everything seeded bagel, and that's just my thing, so I thought that would be kind of cute coming from me. Now all this stuff is just from me. You guys will see in a future video the shopping that the kids are doing for their family, and then you guys will see a Christmas vlog and all of that. These are the things that are just kind of from me. I did get this for him. Daryl's about to go through some implants and stuff and things like that, and so I really want him to have like good things to take care of his teeth. I already got him like a really good motorized toothbrush, but I gave that to him a while ago. It was one of the Amazon deals from the Amazon group, but I didn't wait to give it to him. I just gave it to him so he can start using it now. But then when I saw this, I was like, all right, this I'm going to save for a gift. And this is the portable oral irrigator. So it's like a water pick, and it just says spa for your mouth. And I got this for, again, an insane deal. I'll pop up a picture of like what I paid for it, but it was an insane deal on the Amazon group. So I got him that, and then actually most of the stuff came from that Amazon group. I got him this too. I know you're probably gonna laugh and saying like, why did you get your husband a thermometer? But Daryl is like anal about having a good thermometer. When the kids were just sick, I almost pulled this back out for him to have when the kids were sick and stuff, so he could use it, because he's so anal. I mean, we have a regular thermometer, but he like loves the ear ones, the forehead ones and stuff, and we've always kind of had crappy ones, but this one's supposed to be really, really good. Again, it was on the Amazon group, but it was originally like 40 or 50 bucks, and then I got it for like a stupid deal, but I thought he would really appreciate it. Like the screen is either yellow if you're like mildly running a fever, red if you're super running a fever, or green if you're fine. Plus, you know, it also reads the temperature and stuff, but I just thought he would get a kick out of that because, like I said, he's super anal about having a good thermometer in the house, especially when the kids are sick and all of that. Again, something I got him off that Amazon group. This is like a beanie hat, but it has a headlight in here. Daryl loves his headlight. Like whenever he's doing stuff outside or in the shed or in the attic, he always puts like his headlamp on. This one has one built into the beanie cap, but then it also has Bluetooth built in, so he could connect to his phone and listen to music right inside the hat while he has his headlamp on. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought he would enjoy that, so I got that. And then again, hubby is all into like the music and the speakers and stuff, and we did get a speaker that was sponsored. It was like a sponsored video, and it was gifted to us, and it really is good for the house, but still outside it's just not loud enough for like when we're doing yard work and stuff and we want to crank out the amps. And so this is supposed to be like have extremely long longevity. Like even the comments were all written like about how long the battery life lasts, and this beats to the beat, like the lights move to the beat of the music, and all of this and the circles light up and stuff, and it's all Bluetooth, and it's just supposed to connect to your phone, and it's supposed to be really loud and light up and everything. And again, I thought Daryl would really get a kick out of that because he, you know, loves all the speakery kind of stuff. Oops. And then I got him this. So this is a 22-gallon small storage seat. I got this from Home Depot, but I feel like my husband doesn't ever really have a place to put his own stuff. He always like comes inside and like tries to put in like his keys, his wallet, like his phone, all of that. And I don't really have like a spot for him. All the places he would love to put stuff, I'm constantly putting like home decor and everything. So he'll leave everything out on the patio table because he comes in through the back gate. And so he'll put everything down on the patio table when he comes in, and then he'll go in at night and leave his wallet and everything on the table. And sometimes Bruno has taken it when I've let him out, or it's rained and things have gotten wet. And so I just got this little small storage seat. The lid lifts up and you could put things inside of it, and it's all weatherproofed. I mean, it shows like leaving outdoor pillows and stuff in it, but I thought like he even will work on his laptop when he's doing schedules and things on the computer out on the patio. And so at least I figured he could put all of his stuff in here and it would keep it from like getting wet and all of that. But that is what I got the hubby this year. All right, let's see how fast I can get this stuff wrapped before that Daryl comes home. And I think the first story that I'm going to tell you, or like the first thing we're going to talk about, I did get a bunch of questions from you guys this time. And besides the question asking about how my mom is doing currently, pretty much everything else was holiday related, which I thought was really cool to make the last wrap-in chat be about holidays and traditions and a lot of fun stuff. You guys have asked a lot of deep questions like, what's Jake gonna do with school? Is he going to be working? You know, all those kinds of things. Are we ever gonna move? Everything. You guys have asked all like the good questions over the last two, and none of them were holiday related. So, well, someone did ask if I was spending the holidays with Vanessa, but besides that, everything, like nothing had to do with traditions and things like that. So I'm actually excited to answer some of these questions. So before we get into that stuff, there is something I did want to share. And that was the story about the restaurant that Daryl and I used to run, operate, all of that. We have mentioned it so many times and it has sparked so many questions over the years about, you know, what is this restaurant? Did we own it? Did we just run and operate it? Like, how did it all work? And it is really quite an interesting story. And so I thought I would share, especially if anybody lives in the South Carolina, North Carolina area where we were working. You might have even remembered the place or know the area where I'm talking about and the restaurant that's in its place right now, or at least it was when we left last. But when we first moved to South Carolina, I was moving with my job. I was a job transfer from the place where I met Paul. I was working from home at the time and I was able to work, you know, obviously from anywhere since I was working from home. So I was able to just transfer and still live in South Carolina and still be able to continue working for the company I was working for. I did have an office when I lived in New York, and sometimes I would go in like once a week and do some stuff in the office, but most of what I needed, all of my files and everything, were either something I was able to take home or was something that I can access on the computer. So I was able, like I said, to work from anywhere. So when we moved to South Carolina, I was able to still work from home. But Daryl needed to get a job, and we knew friends when we were moving down there. And at the time, the friends that we knew were working for TGI Fridays. So they got Daryl a job for TGI Fridays, but he was traveling really far. He was traveling to, oh, what the heck was the name of that mall? The one in North Carolina. Boo. I'll put it up here on the screen in case you, again, live in the area so you know, like, where I'm talking about. But it was right by the big mall where the NASCAR thing was. Anyways, it was like 45 minutes to an hour from where we were living. And at the time, Daryl owned a motorcycle. So he was just driving on the motorcycle 45 minutes to an hour every single day, back and forth to work, and it was really like inconvenient. And on the way home from there, we passed a place called Stoney's. They were getting ready to open this place called Stoney's, and it was a wood-fired pizza place, and it said now hiring. And I had told Daryl, hey, maybe you should go in there, because Daryl, that's all Daryl did. When he first lived in upstate New York before he moved to Long Island, he ran, cooked, and operated a pizza place for like 10 years. So, matter of fact, every single time that the place is still there, and every single time that he goes there, his parents, well, we've been there once or twice, but his parents still live in the area. So anytime his parents go there, Pierre will say like, hey, tell Daryl, like, his job's still open if he ever wants it back. And my mother-in-law just laughs, because obviously we're never ever going to go back up to there. I mean, maybe when we move back to New York, Pierre will let Daryl open up a like pizza place where we intend on going. We're not going to go that far north, but hey, maybe he'll invest in him, like, because he certainly has a lot of faith in him, because he still talks about him, you know, all the time. But I just knew that pizza was Daryl's wheelhouse. I mean, Daryl knows how to like flip it up in the air and, you know, spin it all around and stuff. He makes incredible pizza. So I thought maybe this is going to be Daryl's wheelhouse. Like maybe this is going to be like a place that he can really work. And so I told him about it, and he went and he filled out an application, and he ended up talking to Freddie and Alex, who at the time we believed were the owners. We were told that Alex and Freddie were partners, and at the time they were not open yet. This was like in October when Daryl went down and talked to them, and they wanted Daryl to be part of the process. They had pretty much hired him on the spot to be the head pizza chef guy, and they pretty much wanted Daryl to be part of the opening process and all of that, which was really exciting for Daryl because he's done a lot of new store opens. When we worked for Ruby Tuesdays, the gentleman Carl Bachman that we worked for, he had to open like X amount of Ruby Tuesdays within a certain amount of time, or the franchise would go under. It's since gone under. If you live on Long Island, you know all the Ruby Tuesdays are gone because Carl lost his franchise because he wasn't able to open all the stores within his guaranteed time. But at the time when he was opening them like a fair amount, he opened Miller Place, he opened Medford, he opened Sayville. That was all while we were working there, and Daryl was the lead opener. So he was the one that would go and set up the kitchen and everything. So I mean, the guy definitely knows how to do the new store open. So he was really excited. He thought like, okay, this is going to be maybe a chance for me to thrive and shine. And he really liked Freddie and Alex, and it took them a while for them to get open. Daryl had to keep working at Fridays until finally they were ready to open, and he was able to put his 2 weeks in, and he started about May. I think the grand opening was in May. So it took a long time from October when he was first hired by them to actually get the doors open. He did get paid side money when he was like in there helping them design the menu and everything, but he wasn't getting like full-time pay until he left the other job. And he went there, and he absolutely loved working for them. We were located in the Airsley little area. It was right in North Carolina, right on the main road that went through pretty much all of like Charlotte. And it was right on the corner by a movie theater and stuff. It was a great location, and we really just, like I said, he really enjoyed working for them. It was super busy. It is a very large business district right there, so they had a huge lunch crowd, and Daryl was just enjoying it. He had a lot of creative freedom, and he just thought it was great. So after like working there for like a month, Jake and I decided we were going to go down and surprise Dad for lunch. And so we went down, and there was nobody in there. That's when we went there. It was like in between times. And so we sat and we ate, and it was a nice surprise. Like Daryl was kind of beaming a little bit. I think he wanted to show off everything he had worked for so far. And when I went there, I had a little bit of a hard time. Again, I met Daryl in the restaurant business, but if I'm good at anything, it's working and operating a restaurant, serving drinks. It's just all that I've pretty much ever done, and it's the one thing in my life I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt that I am 110% good at it. And I know from working previously, a lot of my friends that I've met, Bonnie, Marissa, who I know from down here, met them all in the restaurant business, and every single one of them will tell you that I will outserve you, I will outsell you, I will anything. And I can say it without a shadow of a doubt. So when I went into his location, I was a little surprised because there were just so many things that I saw. And I know I'm kind of like a picky person because this is my thing, but I was mad because like it was like little stupid little things, like when you sit down at a table and the restaurant has a lot of memorabilia, one of the things you need to have is a cleaning rotation, and you need to have memorabilia being cleaned on your rotation. You don't think about it, but when you have like a canoe hanging off the wall, or skis, or this or that, and it's all, you know, TGI Fridays had all that kind of stuff like hanging on the walls, that stuff gets dusty, and that stuff falls in your food. And so I should never be able to sit down in a restaurant and see like cakes of dust onto something. That doesn't mean your food is crappy, and it doesn't mean it's dirty behind the line. It doesn't mean your food is dirty. It just means that you need to be aware that you also have to clean the dining room a specific way so you can create experience. So I noticed that. I noticed like the salt and pepper shakers were in the wrong way. I know something like that sounds so stupid, but I have quite a few people. In fact, I have this one woman, and I'm so sorry I do not comment back to you, but she is incredible, and every single time that I do like a grocery haul, she'll always comment and say how appreciative that I am, that I'm long-winded. So those of you who don't like it, for some that do, she says that she is 100% blind, and she appreciates that I explain what everything is while I'm talking about it. I explain that this is black, and it's black slippers, and they say Central Perk on them. And now I even try to be more descriptive now that I know she's listening, because she tells me that she appreciates watching because she feels that she can be an active part, because even though she can't see, she feels like she knows what I'm saying. That means a lot to me. Like, I really truly appreciate that I'm able to achieve that for someone. And so for the visually impaired, when they go out to a restaurant, it is to be known that white on right, so salt on the right, that's like something that you learn in the restaurant business, but it's solely for people who are visually impaired, so they don't accidentally pepper when they want to salt, or maybe they don't want salt and they just want pepper on their food, and then they go and salt their food. So it's supposed to be to help with visually impaired. And so it was just little tiny things that I noticed. So I was getting ready to leave, and Daryl made Jake and I food. We ate, and then I was getting ready to leave, and his boss came in, and so he introduced his boss to me. And so I spoke to Freddie for a while. Nice man, like just very sweet, very kind man. And I talked to him for a while, and after talking to him, he said like, oh man, I wish I would have had you in the beginning. You could have helped us do this, and you could have helped us do that. And then about maybe a week later, Freddie asked Daryl if Alex and himself could meet me and Daryl for dinner. And I thought that was the stupid, weirdest thing I've ever heard, and I didn't understand why, but they asked if they could take us out. And so we went to like a local barbecue place that was over there, and we met them, and they basically said that they wanted to open up another location, and that they really felt like Daryl and I could run the store for them so that they could open up this other location. And after talking with me, that they felt ridiculously confident, and they knew that I would be able to do this for them. And so Daryl and I went home, we talked about it. They wanted me to be head of operations, and I would be in charge of basically the general manager, and then Daryl would be the kitchen manager, and him and I would work as a team. After we agreed, they signed everything over to me. When I mean, my name was on the bank statements, my name was on payroll, my name was on everything. The Restaurant Depot card, the bills, everything got switched. Even the rent to the place got all switched to my name. It was like a couple of months of like switching everything together. And then during that process, we started realizing that like Freddie and Alex started to disappear a little bit more. Daryl was considering it flattery because he felt like they really trusted us to be taking care of the place. I felt it like it was kind of rude. It was not my restaurant. I was getting paid, yes, and I was getting paid a decent wage to be head of operations, but these men were not coming back into the store like at all. And they kind of dug themselves a hole in the beginning. Now you have to spend money to make money, we all know this, but they paid for a lot of advertising and signed up for a lot of things that were money that came out of the account every single month, but you can't do a million of them. I get you gotta spend a little money to advertise so you can get out there, but you can't spend all your money in advertising because you still have to pay your employees. You still have to buy food for the store. You still want to turn a profit so that you're not working for nothing. And so I was like kind of getting swamped after only being head of operations. Like I started getting swamped with like nothing but constant phone calls of, hey, you owe us this money, you owe us this money. And then I started getting people like Cintas. They're the ones that bring you like your soap for the bathroom and your rags to wipe everything. They started showing up and saying like, hey, we'll take your mats and your rags this time, but until you pay us the balance, like we can't bring rags anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what do we owe? And he's like, oh, you guys haven't paid in 3 months. What? And so, and like I could never even get in touch with these guys half the time to like ask them a question. And it was really like making me mad because it was everything. Then like Cisco would come. That's the food truck people, like the ones that would deliver the food. And I didn't know, but we had like 3 or 4 different people that delivered the food. And that's because Freddie and Alex owed everybody, and they would just sign up with somebody new to deliver it to them and like not pay the bill from the first one. So like then we started getting people who would no longer deliver food to us, and we were going to Restaurant Depot every single day with the money from the till to like re-buy cheese. I can't even tell you how many times Daryl and I had to lock the door and say we'll reopen in an hour because him and I were at Restaurant Depot buying wings or whatever, or cans of sauce to make tomato sauce. Like if we were down to the very bare minimum of what we were able to like serve and stuff because we were trying to maximize what we could buy. Like we stopped serving like the Thai pizza because we had to keep peanut sauce and carrots and stuff in stock, and the pizza was only bought like once a week or whatever, or maybe like a couple of times a week, but not enough to keep all of those like things in house before it would go bad again. It was really crazy. And so finally this one guy, I'll never forget, his name was Tyler. I was like very intimidated by him because he was one of the head guys of the building. So they were the ones that collected rent. And so they came down at one point and they were like, hey, you know, we know that you're switched over and you're the one that we're going to talk to about rent and stuff. Like, you guys are really behind. And so, like, if we don't start settling up or whatever, like, they're going to close the doors. And I'm like, wait, like, we haven't paid you guys either. So after a while, I could not figure out what the hell these guys had actually been paying for months. Clearly not the bills, because the more that I was seeing what was going on, I was realizing like, holy crap, like there's no way we are going to be able to catch up. Like we're barely making enough money for me to pay the few employees we had left. Everybody else wanted to leave because they weren't getting paid. Like I had no money to pay them. It was like I had just enough to pay the employees, the few that we had left, and buy food. And like buy food just on the daily, like literally in the moment, every single day, buy food. And so I was starting to really get like super frustrated. And when the guy Tyler came down, I went to him at one point and said, hey, I have like 1 payment's worth for you. I know we owe like 4. I can't get that all to you in one shot. I'll have to start like working off everything else. But this is ridiculous, and maybe you need to call Freddie and Alex. Like I call them and they don't get back to me, and like maybe you need to let them know because there's only so much. Like I hadn't even taken a paycheck. Daryl hadn't taken a paycheck. Him and I hadn't gotten paid in almost a month at one point, just because we were taking whatever money that we had, like I said, and putting it into food and paying our employees and not us, and we still had some money saved from our wedding, so we weren't like dying without getting paid, but it still sucked. And so I was like, you know, this is not good, we need to figure this out. And so he said like, well, Freddie and Alex, why are you calling them? Why don't you call David? And I was like, well, who the hell is David? And he said, well, David's the owner. Freddie and Alex were just like you. What? I said, Freddie and Alex were just like me. And he said, yeah, they're not the owners. Now, we had never seen David before. Even when the store wasn't open, Daryl was always dealing with Freddie and with Alex. And so we literally were like, I went back after talking with Tyler and I was like, Daryl, Tyler said like David owns this place. He's like, okay, it was David. I'm like, the owner, like not Freddie and Alex. So we tried to call them, left messages, like they never ever came back. Like they literally just left the keys and they just never came back. And so eventually Tyler got me David's number, and I was actually able to speak to the real man who owned Stoney's Wood Fired Pizza, and it was not Freddie and Alex. And he was a very, very nice man, but extremely oblivious. He had no idea who Alex was. Apparently Alex was brought on by Freddie, not approved by David. And supposedly David worked with Freddie for a long time and was trusting him to handle his store because he lives in Georgia, not in North Carolina. He lived literally nowhere even near where we were. He had zero idea what was going on. He had no idea who I was or anything because this was all on Freddie and Alex. And again, he wasn't even a huge fan of Alex. All this was supposed to be on Freddie. So he actually panicked because at that point he knew that keys were in the hands of a stranger. We talked for a long time. I mean, I think he knew I wasn't lying and I wasn't trying to swindle him. I wasn't stealing money from them or whatever. Matter of fact, I had proof we had no money because I am OCD and ridiculously anal, and I kept track of every dollar and where it went. I kept every receipt, everything, because I was afraid this stuff was gonna go back on me. Like, my name was on everything. Matter of fact, when Stoney's officially closed down, I told Daryl, like, I better not end up having this affect my credit or anything. Like, I hope this doesn't come back on me because my name is attached to everything and this place is going under. And like, I was really nervous. I was panicked beyond all belief. Nothing ever came of it, which is good, but I was definitely in fear at one point that something bad was gonna happen because of this. So eventually David came up. Again, super nice man, but a little weird. He brought his mistress with him, so I knew he was married because once I talked to him on the phone and stuff, I looked him up on Facebook, and so I knew he was married. He said that his entire pizza concept was all based on his daughter. Like, she was the inspiration. She's the one who loves pizza, and she was the one who inspired him to open up his own pizza place and blah blah blah. And so I knew he was married, I knew he had a kid and all of that, but he brought his mistress with him, which I've since noticed on Facebook he was with the mistress. I don't know if he married her, but he must have split up with his wife and stayed with the mistress for many years, because at this point, that was almost 8 or 9 years ago. So he must have broken up with the wife, stayed with her, and I noticed recently he's not with her anymore either. So David doesn't have very much success and luck in keeping things grounded, but he came there and he said like, well, how can I help? And I was like, well, you know, I don't really know what you are gonna do, but this place needs a lot of work and it needed a refresh. I mean, it was just open, but it needed a new look. It needed a new feel. Like, so he gave us a little bit of money and told us that we could do like a little bit of a refresh on it. We were painting and doing a logo on it, but eventually they shut the power off, the water off, like, and David just, I think when he got there, he saw that a bunch of kids, I mean, I wasn't a kid, I was 30 years old, but I mean, I think he saw that a bunch of people had his restaurant, his baby, and it wasn't anything like what he thought it was. I was super apologetic because I didn't want to like run his restaurant into the ground, but it wasn't me. Like, I kept saying to him like, hey, if you could come up with the capital to get me back to zero, the concept of your restaurant is amazing. My husband made amazing pizza, and there's actually a lot of places here in Texas, maybe Bricks and something else that are very similar. Like, the point of Stoney's was to be like a Subway. Like, you walk along and you pick what you want, and then the pizza gets made right there in front of you. It only takes 5 to 7 minutes in the wood-fired rotating grill, and then you get your hot pizza. And so I really think that the concept itself was great. We had so many people at one point when we first opened that if we could have maintained that kind of volume and success, I think the place would have been successful. But I just think there was so much money in everything. Like, you know, I said that place was by a movie theater. Well, they even like paid for like a commercial. There was like a wood-fired pizza commercial that would go on during the movie or before, so that, you know, come on over after the shows to Stoney's wood-fired pizza kind of thing. Great idea, don't get me wrong, but like, just do that then. You can do that and then advertise in the paper and then, you know, make flyers and sign up for all of these. There's so much that you can, only so much that you can do. Otherwise you run out of capital. And that's what happened. They just spread out all their money and they paid nobody. I couldn't get out from underneath myself, and my heart was broken because at the end of the day, we didn't take pay for months. Daryl and I were owed well over $5 grand, and we were not able to collect on any of that because the man never paid us for anything. He just accepted his company at going under, and that was it. Matter of fact, I said we're friends on Facebook, right? I've wanted to like unfriend him just out of spite because it bothers me that like he remains friendly to me, but he owes me so much money and I don't feel like he appreciated us the way he should have, and it really upsets me and it bothers me so much. But I guess I feel like karma will come back and get everybody when it's supposed to, because like I said, he's not with his mistress or whatever anymore, and like I said, it'll come back. But he just wrote me for on my birthday and wrote like, happy birthday, Kira, hope it was a great one. And I said to Daryl, like, Daryl, guess you wrote on my wall for my birthday? And he was like, who? I'm like, David. It's like, David who? And I was like, from Stoney's? He's like, oh, that's funny. I'm like, no, it's not funny. I felt like commenting back and saying, yeah, it'll be a great birthday if you paid me what you owe me. Like, it was just a lot to take. But when we officially closed the store down, like, we were closing the doors. We weren't allowed back in. They were, eventually the rents people were coming and they were like locking the doors and we weren't allowed back in. We pretty much went inside and took everything that we were able to take that wasn't nailed down, because we were entitled to some things and we weren't going to get anything. So like, we had just gotten a huge like paper goods truck. So we had napkins, we had those little like individually wrapped silverware, we had the little souffle cups that you put like blue cheese or pasta or marinara sauce or whatever in, like those kinds of things. We had so many of those, took it all. We had like, there was a TV or two that we had on the wall, took them. Like, it was just awful because we weren't going to get anything. The man knew he wasn't going to give us anything. We had also spent so much money in some of the projects that we were trying to do, like paint and all of that, and we just saved the receipts. David said anything that we spent, he would reimburse us. And so we were like working on whatever, and we never got paid for any of that kind of stuff. And so that was pretty sad. I definitely have to say that that was like a little heartbreaking because owning a restaurant was all I ever wanted. And so I felt like this was incredible. Like, we finally got the chance to do something we've always wanted to do. And I really believed that we were finally, like, our chance was finally coming, and like this was everything we ever waited for. And then it just kind of blew up in our face, and it wasn't something that we did. It was just coincidence that that's how it happened. So it is what it is. But I just feel like whenever we talk about why we have so much of this stuff or whatever left over, people are always like, wait, you owned a restaurant? I guess that's pretty much the closest I'll ever get to it. I had the keys. It was mine. I was operator. My name was on everything. So it was about the closest I was gonna get. And it was good. And Daryl and I definitely learned something, and we've said that to each other, that we have learned that we work very, very well together when we work in a work environment. Sometimes at home, not so much, because Daryl works a lot of hours, and so it's always a like, well, you get to stay home. Well, that doesn't change that I do everything, and I still put a lot of time into my channel and stuff. And so when it comes to like here at the house, sometimes we have our marital debates. But when it came to like working outside of the home, I don't know, like we were working towards like a success goal. We're both very driven workers. And so I feel like if Daryl and I ever had the opportunity to open up a food truck or a restaurant, I think we would be really successful at it. And I like hope one day we'll get the chance to do that. I don't know. All right. I finished all of Daryl's, and while I was still talking, I already started with Mason's. So I'm going to cut right now to the items that Daryl and I are giving Mason that you guys haven't seen yet, and the items that are coming from Santa, and then we will meet right back here. I actually almost didn't do this wrap and chat, and I was supposed to do this before because of Mason's presence, because he literally walked in here when I was about to do the last wrap and chat, and he saw everything. So for a moment I wasn't going to do anything. I was like upset about it. I was going to kind of pull the covers over my head and not get out of bed until 2022, but Mel Robbins is such an amazing inspiration, and just by listening to her, she basically told me to get my ass up and get out of bed and shake it off, and it was just a day, and the next day would be better, and the next day was better. And so here that we are. So I'm gonna cut to the last of the presents that we're giving to Mason, and then I'll meet you right back here to finish wrapping them. So like I mentioned in the beginning, if you follow me on Instagram, then you already know, but Mason had walked in here the last time I was trying to film this wrap and chat and saw a couple of the presents. So I'm going to have to like move things around and try and figure out what to do with what, but these are the remaining gifts that I got Mason that you guys have not seen, that I haven't wrapped yet. I'll link my previous wrap and chats down in the description box so you guys can see the other things that I've purchased so far. But some of these are from us and some are going to be from Santa. So this is going to be from us. I actually just picked this up from the Dollar Tree. I haven't found any good movie selections there lately that were like of quality, but this was pretty good. It's a DVD exclusive Yokai Watch comic and DVD. So you get a DVD and a comic book of Yokai Watch, and I think that that's awesome for $1. So I think Mason's going to love that. He loves all of the anime stuff. he read this book in school and came home and talked about it and told me how much that this book like made an impression on him, and it's called You Matter. And so I picked it up so that we could read it and I could share it with his sister. Like we can read it with her. If it made an impact on Mason to come home and talk about it, then I think it's going to be worth reading. And so I'm excited to give this to him. I know he's going to be excited, and I'm looking forward to reading it because, like I said, obviously if it made an impression, then I want him to have it. So this is something that he's going to get from Santa. This is 11 activities. This is my first mind-blowing science experiment. Mason asked Santa for like science experiments and inventing kits and stuff. He says he wants to grow up to be a scientist or an inventor, and he wants to invent time machines and all of that. And so I thought this would be really awesome. I got this off of Amazon, this as well, so I'll link all these things in my Amazon store if you guys want to search and get them. I pretty much don't buy anything that isn't Prime, so a lot of this stuff you can still get by Christmas, but I thought this was pretty cool. It says like erupt a color changing volcano, and then there's like a whole bunch of other things that it does. Make squishy crystals, write secret messages to your friends, so like erasable ink or disappearing ink or whatever, mix magic fizzy potions, like all of that is right up Mason's alley. So I think he's really going to enjoy that. This wasn't going to be from Santa, but he saw this Pokemon thing, which was supposed to be from Santa, so I have to switch it up and hopefully like he doesn't catch on. But I had gotten him this Super Mario Jenga. He loves everything Super Mario, and I'm trying to build up their gaming closet so that we can have fun with games. And so I had saw this Super Mario Jenga. I thought it was pretty cool. I found it again on Amazon, but now this is going to be from Santa. So apparently Santa found Super Mario and he thinks it's really awesome, and he left it here so I can wrap it for Mason. This was something he had asked Santa for, and now we are giving it because he specifically told me the only thing he saw was something Pokemon that had a 25 on the Pikachu. So I'm hoping that he was so enthralled by this that he didn't see anything else. But this is the Celebrations Deluxe pin collection Pokemon kit. It's a 25th anniversary kit, and there's a whole bunch of, I forget what it said, there's a list of things. 1 foil promo card, 1 deluxe enamel pin, 4 booster packs, 2 TCG booster packs, 1 information sheet, and 1 code card for the online game. So I guess if you know Pokemon, you'll know if this is good or not. I don't know. He asked Santa for Pokemon cards, and so this is what Santa was giving, but now Santa's giving Jenga, and I'm giving that, and so yeah. And then lastly, again, off of Amazon, I got this dominoes set from Santa. He asked Santa for dominoes. He's been watching a lot of YouTube videos where people spend like days and days and forever and years to set up these crazy like domino things and knock them down. And so I told him one day over vacation we'll, you know, set things up, and if Santa got it, of course, because he was asking Santa for dominoes. But he said if he got them, we would spend a day over break setting it all up and filming a video of, you know, knocking it down and stuff. So I know he will love that. But you guys saw his stocking. Otherwise, that's the last of what Santa and Mom and Dad are gifting to Mason. And you'll see what Maya and Jake gave either in the Christmas vlog or in the sibling vlog. Alright, you guys, so that was what we were getting for Mason. And now I'm going to start answering some questions because we got the Stonies thing out of the way, and that was really long, and now we're just getting into what you guys are asking, and I'm already halfway through done with wrapping. But a lot of them were duplicates because, again, it was still like holiday related, and not a lot of them were like long-winded questions, although I'm pretty much long-winded about everything. We will see where we are at. So let me just get a question. Okay, so I said to you, someone asked, how is your mom doing now, and are you going home for Christmas? So yes, Mom is doing better, like no more kidney stone issues. Well, at least not what she was fighting in the summertime. She will always have kidney stones. She got them when she was pregnant with me, and she has had them for all of my life. So this is nothing new. This was just a bad episode that we happened to be home for. I just still consider myself lucky that I got to be home to help her, because I think it would have been awful if I was not able to be there for her. I think it would have been a lot on my brother and stuff and my father to just handle that. So I'm glad that we were able to be there. Yes, we are going home just for like 5 days. It's all that we can manage with work and schedules and school and stuff. But we're leaving on January 7th, the night of, and Paul will be here. He's taking a little mini vacation himself, and he's just gonna hang here at the house and take care of pets. And then we are leaving Friday, January 7th. We're gonna go there. Actually, Daryl's birthday is January 8th, and that's the day we'll be celebrating Christmas at the house with my family. So that's kind of cool. It's been a long time since we've been able to do like birthday cake with family. We're always kind of alone for his birthday, and so that'll be kind of cool for us to be able to do that. And then we have some plans for the rest of like the next couple of days that we're there. I'm in a wedding, so I have to do like bridesmaids dress try on and stuff on Sunday. And then, you know, Monday and Tuesday we're just gonna kind of hang out with family, and then we fly home on Wednesday. So I'm excited, my mom's excited. A lot of our presents like we had already sent there. I have some stuff that's here, like 1 box worth, but stuff that I can easily pack into the suitcase. I'll be able to, I think I'm gonna wrap it and pack it in a box, and then put the whole box right in a suitcase and zip it up. This way it's easier that way. But yeah, we are going, and we're super excited. I was hoping my mother-in-law was going to come down and visit, but I don't think she's going to be able to do that with her work schedule. And they actually have a family member in their house right now that's positive for COVID, and so they're all quarantining, and they're all just nervous, and they don't want to travel, and so they're not vaccinated. It's like a whole big to-do, and so we're probably not going to be able to see them, but we will get to see my family. I mean, I wish we could sneak a trip up to them, especially since my in-laws don't fly. So if we don't go to them, we won't see them. My mom can't fly. They don't recommend that she fly after her stroke. So but they love to fly. So if they could, they would fly here, but she's not recommended that she should. And so my mom can't fly here, so I can't see my parents unless I go there, and then he can't see his parents unless he goes there, because they don't fly, which is why we were hoping they would come and see us, because I can't always fly all the way there and then rent a car and go up there. There are really no airports up there. I could fly into Albany, but then that's still quite a drive from my family. So they would have to take quite a drive to come and pick us up, which would be really hard because we're a family of 5. So for them to come and pick us up, nobody really has a vehicle that would fit us all, plus luggage. And then we could rent a car from there, but then we might as well just drive from my parents, because it's not that far from my parents to Albany. And so we always said, like, hey, if we can't make it to you, as long as we make it to the island, then could you meet us there? But that's just not how it's happening this year. So we're definitely sad by that. We miss my in-laws terribly when we go up to visit them. We always have such a nice time. So it's just sad that we're not going to be able to see them this year, but at least we are going to be able to see my parents. So as long as we see some kind of family, my kids feel like it's Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but like that's one of the memories I have of Christmas the most, was like being with my family, you know, like my extended family, like my grandma and stuff. That was one of my favorite parts of Christmas growing up, was going to my grandma's and all the traditions that we had. So many traditions, which a bunch of you asked a lot of tradition questions. I just saw hubby pull up. What is my favorite part of the holiday season? That was one of my questions. My favorite part of the holiday season has changed over the years. I mean, I guess when you're a little kid, your favorite part's like opening up presents, right? But then as I grew up, I enjoyed giving more than receiving. I'm kind of an awkward person when you give presents to. Like, I hold the present in my lap and I watch everybody else open, and I watch like what I gave you, and then like I'm almost hoping that nobody's gonna notice that I didn't open, because I feel awkward. And as much as I have an like open personality, I'm just a weird gift receiver. I don't know why. I think it's just because I don't enjoy receiving. I only enjoy like giving gifts. And so like, I don't know. I always feel weird. I'm out of place doing that. So as I grew up, I just became more of like really enjoying giving the gifts. And then, but now I think I just like the traditions of the kinds of like foods and things that you serve, because that's, well, I guess it's more my favorite part of the holiday season, right? So I guess my favorite part of the holiday season, I would say, would be decorating. I think decorating would probably be my favorite part of the season, because I love the way the house looks completely decorated. It definitely is my favorite thing. I could leave Christmas decorations up all year round and be perfectly fine with that. Daryl, not so much. He hates clutter, so he doesn't like when we have all the like Christmas decorations around, but I love them. I could, like I said, have it all the time. So I think that would be my favorite part of the holiday season, is all the decorations, the twinkling lights, the Christmas tree. I could sleep by the glow of the Christmas tree forever. And then same person, which is Courtney, she asked if you had to pick one item from all these to get, and what would that one item be? That is a really good question. And I think that would probably be, wow, I think I would probably say the popcorn. I think the popcorn's my favorite. I feel like that stuff is so good. It's only 30 calories per cup, and my kids love it, and my kids are such sticklers for, it needs to be really buttery popcorn, and there's no butter on this popcorn, and they love it. So I know that if my kids are eating non-buttered popcorn and loving it, then it's that good. And it's $1 and change, and it's organic, and it's great. And sorry, my battery died, but yeah, I would probably say by far my favorite item from Aldi is the popcorn. All right, so someone else asked what other YouTubers I watch. I feel like that's such a loaded question. I have so many favorites, but I feel like a really crappy YouTube friend, because I've met so many amazing and incredible people on YouTube, and I would love to watch them all. There's only so much time in a day, and so I have like the few people that I need to watch, just because, one, we're friends, and so like I do my due diligence as a friend. Like, I watch Vanessa first and foremost, not just because I want to watch her videos, because sometimes I went shopping with her, so I don't really need to watch it. Although, you know, even when we shop together, she puts things in the cart that I don't see. For the most part, if I went shopping with her, I already know what she bought, but I'm still gonna watch her Dollar Tree haul, because I support her. I hit the thumbs up button. I don't skip the ads. I comment if I can. Most of the time I'm just listening, so I don't comment often, but I watch, I hit the like button, and I do my best to comment, and I don't skip the ads, and I do my part in helping her, because that's what we do for one another. And so I try to do that with at least my closest friends. I do the same thing for Nicole. Sometimes some of her videos, like the ones that are more about what she's doing, whether she's doing anabolic or keto and stuff, some of those were hard for me to get on the train. I think mostly because I was jealous that I was doing it for a while and then I haven't been able to maintain it or whatever. And so that was like a little disappointing to me, like, because I know it's something that I really, really want to do. So being that that's not like a lifestyle that I'm following, that would be the only time like she has a video that I don't watch. Otherwise, I try and watch all of like her grocery hauls. She just did a really good video about her hair transformation, because right now she's trying to grow her hair like the gray out and not dye her hair. So she just shared that. You know, I like to watch all those. I like to watch her lunch videos because I like to see what she packs the boys. And so, you know, I will watch Nicole. I watch Vanessa from Vanessa White Randomness or her Nosh with Ness channel. I know, like, I had gotten a few negative comments, you know, over time about, you know, some people who are against some of the things that she shares, but there's something that I just love the shit out of that girl. Like, I just love that she's real and she's just herself, and I enjoy that so much. I enjoy somebody who doesn't mind, like, if I were to say a bad word, like, for the most part, I try my best to edit it out, or I've trained myself to, like, not say certain things when I have the camera on, so that I'm respectful, not just of, like, other people who, you know, don't believe in those words or don't say those words or whatever, but sometimes you're listening with your children around and, like, you don't want to hear them. And I'm not saying that anybody should or shouldn't censor themselves, but I absolutely just freaking love how carefree that she is. And she, like, didn't post for 6 months and then kind of went on her own little spiritual journey, and then has just recently come back for Vlogmas, and her videos to me are 10 times better than they were before, because she has, like, a new air about her, like, that I don't give a shit attitude. I'm gonna say what I say, I'm gonna do what I do, and if you like me, you like me, and if you don't, you don't. And I love that, and I love that about so many people. I hate the negativity that comes with YouTube, and I actually had plans to talk about a couple of, like, comments that I got recently that they just pissed me off. And, you know, as soon as I get a crappy comment, I just block and delete, and I really don't care. But every once in a while they'll just stay with you, because sometimes I wonder how anybody could actually have, like, the nerve to say some of the things that they say, because I would never ever ever say some of the things that people say forever. Like, I would never say them. But I decided not to, like, get into that too much or bring up any of the things that I wanted to say, because I just hate the negativity. And at the end of the day, if somebody chooses to be like that, it's not my cup of tea. And so I don't really care. Like, I don't care. Maybe you believe in vaccinating, or maybe that you don't. You know, I'm taking my kids today and they are going to be vaccinated, and I'm getting my booster. And if you don't believe in that, that's fine. But I don't think you should not like me because you don't believe in my choices, because I would never not like you for not doing it, because I respect everybody and both sides of the coin, and whoever wants to do whatever that they want to do, that's on them and not on me. And so, like, I would never just be that judgmental, but I just love that she came back with this air about her that she is gonna be who she wants to be, and you take her or you don't. And that makes for enjoyable content, because that means that she is as real can be. And so I love that. Absolutely 110%. I love that. And it makes me enjoy her. It makes me look forward to her, because I feel like I really feel like I'm hanging out with a friend, because I feel like that's exactly how she would be if her and I were hanging out. And I need that kind of genuineness in my life. Like, that's what I look for. It's my goal. I actually turned her on to Mel Robbins, and I have seen so much of a positivity difference in her, even with just discovering Mel. I don't know. I really love her. My all-time favorite YouTuber of all time is Jess from Jess Fam. I just love her. Again, there's, like, a bunch of channels out there that all they do is tear apart YouTubers, and they've labeled her as her own version of a train wreck and whatever. Say whatever you want. She has 1.25 million subscribers. She makes tens of thousands of dollars a month, and whatever she's doing right. Her kids are amazing and talented. She edits like I've never seen anybody edit before. She's got skills everywhere, and so I love her. I watch Brittany from, her channel used to be Brittany and Baby, but now it's Brittany Morrow. But I actually met her through Leanne. I still watch Leanne over at Grady's mom. Leanne is the one who got me into YouTube. We used to live on the same block when I lived in South Carolina, and she actually met Brittany. They bumped into each other in Publix, and Leanne was already watching Brittany. She didn't know that she lived that close. She knew she lived in South Carolina, but she didn't know that she lived that close to where we used to live, which she still lives there. Brittany had her house built not far from where I used to live, but she bumped into her in Publix, and she was like, hey, you know, I know you, whatever, and they talked, and they were so super sweet to one another, blah, 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 and they exchanged phone numbers, and then Leanne hung out with her quite a few times. Matter of fact, Grady had a birthday party, and Brittany brought Nolan and Harlow. Maybe not Nolan and Harlow. Aria might have been there too. I'm not really sure. But I was so forthcoming. Brittany's like not a hugger and stuff, and I met her and I like hugged her because it was like meeting a real life reality star. I mean, Brittany has 440,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. You know, she does very well. Her and Jess, actually, they work for the same management team. That's how they know each other. I found Jess through Brittany. I watched Brittany first. All right, guys, so it is 8:20 on Thursday night, and this is the video that I'm supposed to be posting today. I filmed it today, but we've been running around. We got our COVID vaccine boosters today, and the kids got their first shot, and we had some pickup orders to do from Target for last minute like school gifts and teacher gifts and things that we needed for tomorrow. And so the day got away from me. It is super, super late, and I had problems with my camera all day between my battery dying and my memory card being full and whatever. I had to stop filming this video like a ton of times. It actually cut me off at the very end, and I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye or finish wrapping or anything, because then we had to leave to go get our vaccines. And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this video right now because it's already at 1 hour and 3 minutes. So I'm just going to end it right here. I'm going to cut it, like stop the camera right now, turn it right back on, and film like a mediocre intro, and then I'm going to finish filming or going through the footage that I already have. I still have like another 40 some odd minutes to go through. So I'm going to go through that, and I'm just gonna post that as a bonus video in the morning, like the other half of this, because I'm not doing another wrap and chat. I'm not refilming what I already did. It's too much. So I'm just going to cut it right here, and then I'm going to start a new one that I'll post tomorrow early afternoon, and then tomorrow night you guys will still see my lunch video that you guys normally see on Fridays. I know this is kind of crazy, but I had a ton of stuff to wrap, and you guys know I like to chat, and you asked me a ton of questions, and I was trying to answer them in a timely fashion, and I was still trying to share with you all of the things that I got for everybody and be able to link them for you. So before you knew it, it just turned into a crazy long video yet again. So I'm gonna cut it right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to this point, I still don't know how you do it, but I love you. I appreciate you. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. I don't even know if you're new how you're here, but I love you so much, and I appreciate you, and I thank you. And I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna film up, and I'm being summoned. So there we go. I love you guys. Let me go get this posted so that you can see it, and I still have a video for today, and I have to go put my kids to bed. So I love you, and I will see you tomorrow in 2 more videos. Bye, guys.